Inspirit Nutrition, your brother, your friend, your dietitian, back again for another installment. Equivalent exchange. The law of equivalent exchange. I first heard about this law when I was watching a cartoon by the name of Full Metal Alchemist. The whole cartoon, the whole anime is based off this principle of equivalent exchange. How energy is never created or destroyed. If you give out a certain amount of energy, a certain amount of time, a certain amount of prayer, whatever it is, you get the same thing back. If something is composed of a certain amount of atoms, certain, type of elements, you can reconstitute that with alchemy and change it into something different. And so basically it's a story of two brothers who are young alchemists, and they convert things. They have the power to change things, so they could touch a pole and turn it into a sword, or they can take a tree and turn it into paper, or a stack of wood, or whatever, a stack of blocks of wood. And the whole idea is that there's nothing that's for free. There's nothing that is kind of like in surplus or in excess. If the iron rod has a certain amount of atoms, when they turn it into a sword, it's going to have the same amount of atoms. And in life, we have access to energy, resources, and a lot of things that we can use to our benefit, but oftentimes we only see these things as kind of, not even as resources. But when you realize that money is just energy, and that when you're dealing with the law of equivalent exchange, or the law of exchange, anytime you exchange something valuable for something else that's valuable, you're dealing with the law of exchange. So if you do a favor for your neighbor, that rhymed, that was unintentional. If you do a favor for someone in your neighborhood or in your community, they return that favor to you. You just did something called the law of exchange. You just exercise the law of exchange. Now, people may say that person did that for free, or I did this for free. Really, nothing is for free, because it's the law of equivalent exchange. So it's an energy exchange. So if I say I'll cut your grass, if you cut my hair, cool. You're good at cutting grass and landscaping. You're really good at cutting the dome. So you cut my dome, and I'll cut the grass. So it's a law of energy exchange. And when you think like that, you realize, one, you start recognizing your values. You start recognizing things that you can kind of use to your benefit that aren't only money. You have things at your disposal. You have things within your power that you're ignoring because you think only money can get things. But I've been getting things for free recently, quote unquote. People don't understand it, and they're saying, how are you getting this for free? How are you getting that for free? And I'm saying, it's not really for free. Energy is being exchanged, but only certain eyes can see it. Only certain understanding can understand it. So yeah, it may look like I'm getting things for free, but nothing is for free. I'm exchanging something. I'm giving a service. Energy and services are being exchanged. Energies and services are being exchanged, but you may not be able to see them. Now, once you develop your eye and your understanding, you can start exchanging energy and services in order to get other forms of energy and services. So when you begin to understand your power, your value, you can exchange certain energy, certain services for certain benefits. What am I talking about? I'm speaking so metaphorically, so in such an intangible manner. Easy. You babysit for tutoring services, or you teach nutrition. I'm a dietitian. I do counselings in exchange for somebody teaching me how to cook, or somebody washing my car, or somebody giving me psychological counseling, or somebody doing something else for me. Just personal training, physical, fitness, whatever. There's a lot of things you can do for people. And the more you're in tune with yourself and you understand who you are and what you have to offer, the more you can tap into that and give it to someone else for a service that they can give you. And then, I mean, as your self-worth increases, your net worth increases. So if you decide to exchange what your gift is for money, then you could just exchange it for money. You don't have to exchange it for another service or a room or a car or, you know, other physical material things. You could just say, I just want money for it. And that's when people go into, and they become self-employed. They become consultants. They become counselors. They become all these different advisors. You know what I mean? Things like that. So you can navigate in that way, in that sphere. But the point is just that recognize that there's something called the law of exchange. There's something called equivalent exchange where you can gain things for free, so-called for free. And that there's certain things that you may want that money can't necessarily buy. Relationships, personal relationships, benefits that come from personal relationships that money can't purchase. Certain positions in society or in the community that money can't buy. So you can gain those by giving something else that's valuable to someone else. Your brother, your friend, your dietitian, back again for another installment in Inspirit Nutrition. Out here, enjoying some sunshine. About to have a meeting soon. But in the meantime, I am talking to you all about equivalent exchange. So go out and do some exchanging, do some bartering. Bartering? What's bartering? Do some bartering. Enunciate, like my grandmother says. Okay, peace and love.